Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're plunging into a really unsettling question. What if a place, like a house, could actually remember your voice, your emotions? And what if just leaving? Well, what if that wasn't enough to get away from it?
Right.
We're digging into a specific story that really brought this home for us, kind of inspired by these chilling reports you hear about, ghost calls, haunted numbers, stuff often tied to some pretty tragic events.
Yeah.
So our goal today is basically to unpack how something like that might even happen, trying to understand the lingering impact of human experience on the places we live.
It's a really fascinating thought experiment, isn't it? How something seemingly inert, like an old phone, can maybe become a channel for something. Well, something deeply disturbing.
Exactly.
Especially when it gets tangled up with intense human feelings and difficult history. We're about to get into a source that tells a really compelling story, full of those unsettling details. It sort of invites you to think about the echoes that might stick around.
Okay, so with that kind of creepy idea set up, let's dive into the story itself. It starts back in 2016. There's this couple, Aaron and Lily. They rent a century-old farmhouse way out in rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Sounds nice on the surface, Old wooden floors, stone chimney, big porch.
The classic picture.
Right, surrounded by these foggy woods. Pretty isolated farmhouse feel, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And that kind of isolation, well, it often sets the perfect stage for things to get weird, doesn't it?
Totally, but here's the detail that sort of stood out. This old, dusty, rotary phone mounted right on the kitchen wall. Looked ancient, obviously not connected to anything modern. They just figured, okay, it doesn't work. Never worked.
It's part of the decor.
Yeah, like a quirky, broken old thing. A conversation piece, maybe.
And that's the real irony sometimes, isn't it? Thinking something is broken or disconnected
Right.
when its actual nature is, well, maybe far more potent than you'd guess. You think it's just sitting there, but maybe it's connected to something else entirely. Not the phone lines, but
Right.
the house itself.
But, the peace and quiet didn't exactly last. One evening, Aaron's home by himself. House is quiet. Maybe a bit too quiet. And then that phone, the rotary one they thought was dead, it rings.
Oh, wow.
3 long, slow rings.
Oh.
Just imagine hearing that sound cut through the silence.
Yeah, chillin'.
So naturally, he's curious, right? He picks it up.
You would, wouldn't you?
You would. At first, just static, but then he hears Lily's voice.
Okay.
But it wasn't just what she said. It was how. It was soft, kind of distorted. Really not like her usual voice at all, whispering, "Come back upstairs. I need help."
It's creepy.
And here's the kicker, the thing that makes it impossible. Lily wasn't upstairs. She was out with friends, like 30 miles away.
Right, so completely impossible.
No explanation at all.
And what Aaron experienced there, well, that fits exactly with what some people call a ghost call, doesn't it? A communication from somewhere impossible. It's designed to, confuse and scare you. The psychological hit of hearing someone you know, but when they just can't be there,
Right.
it's instant. And the voice being distorted, wrong. It's like an immediate warning sign that something is fundamentally off. Pushes you right past curiosity into, actual fear. It's a phenomenon people report, not just in this story, often where there's been intense emotion left behind.
And yeah, it definitely didn't stop with that one call. It got worse.
Oh, no.
More calls started coming in on other nights, but now different voices. Voices Aaron knew really well. His mother, who had passed away, his brother, even an old friend from high school who died in a car crash years ago.
Wow. Okay, so it's tapping into his personal history.
Deeply personal. And every single one of these voices asked the exact same question. Why did you leave me?
Oof, that question.
Haunting, right? Eventually, Aaron and Lily just couldn't take it. They stopped answering the phone altogether.
Don't blame them.
But it didn't make a difference. The phone just kept ringing. Every single night, like clockwork, at exactly 2:21 a.m.
2:12 a.m., that specific time.
Every night. They got desperate, tried everything, cut the wires, pulled the line out of the wall. They even took a hammer to the phone itself, smashed it.
Right, trying to physically stop it.
Didn't matter. It would still ring. 2:12 a.m.
That repetition, the timing, it's classic psychological torment, isn't it?
Yeah.
At 2:12 a.m., it's not just random. It becomes this, fixed point of dread in their lives. It makes the haunting feel targeted, inescapable.
Totally.
Creates this awful, predictable pattern that just taps into that primal fear of something you can't control. It just grinds you down. And that question, why did you leave me? That feels like a core theme, doesn't it? Abandonment.
Yeah.
You'll probably see how that connects later.
Definitely.
And the fact that smashing the phone did nothing. That's maybe the most chilling part. It suggests this isn't about wires or circuits, you know? It's like the phone is just the symptom, the manifestation of something deeper, something physical force can't touch.
Yeah. So Lily, pushed to the absolute limit, she makes this like last-ditch effort. She calls the county records office, just hoping to find anything about the house's history.
Trying to find some explanation.
Any explanation.
Right.
And what she finds, it's pretty shocking. Turns out the house, back in the 1950s, it was used as a long-term care home for war veterans.
Ah, okay.
And most of the men there, they died in that house, often alone.
Loneliness, isolation.
Exactly. But the records highlighted one veteran in particular. He apparently spent hours and hours using the house phone line. Tried to call old friends, family, people who just, well, they'd stopped visiting him.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and every time a call didn't connect or nobody picked up, he'd write down this phrase, "They forgot me."
They forgot me.
Wow. His story ends really sadly. He was found dead in the house, still holding the phone receiver, the line just buzzing.
Okay, so this is where it all clicks together, isn't it? That narrative lines up so well with theories of like residual haunting or place memory.
Right.
The idea that really intense emotions like that veteran's deep, profound loneliness and feeling of abandonment can somehow get imprinted onto the environment itself.
Like an echo.
Exactly. Less like an active ghost trying to communicate and more like the place itself is just playing back this traumatic recording. The veteran feeling forgotten, writing, "They forgot me." It directly mirrors that question from the calls, "Why did you leave me?"
It's the same feeling.
It really is. That historical context becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's not just random scary voices. It's a specific, painful memory of being left alone, manifesting through that old phone. It's almost like the house absorbed his despair.
So Aaron and Lily, they'd finally had enough.
Yeah.
Understandable. They decided, that's it, we're moving out. They packed everything up, left on a Sunday. But even as they're driving away, putting distance between them and that house, it wasn't quite over.
Oh, no. Don't tell me.
Aaron's own cell phone rings. Unknown number.
On his cell phone.
On his cell phone. He answers it. And what he hears, it's just their own voices. On a loop. Arguing, crying, apologizing, like recordings of all the intense emotional moments they'd had in that house.
Oh, that's horrible. Invasive.
Just replaying their pain. And then, after the loop, one last whisper. Terrifyingly clear. "You can leave,
Yeah.
but your voice stays."
Wow.
Aaron he completely lost it. Threw the phone out the car window, but even as it was flying through the air, apparently it was still ringing.
Unbelievable.
But in a lasting effect.
Yeah.
They say that sometimes, even now, if they happen to drive near that area late at night, they swear they can hear a faint ringing sound coming from the woods, always around 2 or 12 a.m.
That's the truly horrifying escalation, isn't it? It jumps from the house phone, the physical object in the house, to his personal cell phone. That implies the phenomenon isn't just tied to the place or the object, it's latched onto them. Maybe through their voices, like the message said.
It makes you wonder.
It really does. How does that work if it's just, residual energy? How does it follow them? That final message, you can leave, but your voice stays. It's such a chilling idea, like residual memory, but somehow active or at least transferable. It suggests that some experiences, especially ones soaked in strong emotion, like that veteran's loneliness, they leave marks that go beyond just the physical place. It makes you rethink just walking away from somewhere, doesn't it? Implying these echoes aren't just in the walls, maybe in the air or attached to the people themselves. It reminds me of that feeling you sometimes get in very old places where the history feels almost tangible, like you can sense the past. This story just takes that feeling and dials it up to pure terror.
So, wrapping this up.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway from this deep dive?
Yeah.
We've really explored this unsettling idea that a place might hold on to echoes of us, our voices, our feelings, long after we're gone.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you think, doesn't it, about the invisible histories all around you. In your own home, maybe? What stories do those walls hold?
And connecting that to the bigger picture, it really raises a key question. If a house can remember voices, emotions, what other unspoken stories are held in the places we pass through every day? And what does that imply about our own connection to these spaces? What kind of echoes might we be leaving behind without even realizing it? It's a profound thought, really challenges how we see supposedly inanimate objects and the sheer endurance of human experience.
Definitely something to think about.
So maybe the next time you're in an old building and it's quiet, just listen for a moment. But maybe you take a piece of advice from this story. If a house ever actually calls you, perhaps it's best not to answer. Some echoes were never meant to return.